From KETK, you're watching East Texas Live at 3.
Welcome back to East Texas Live on KETK. Joining us now is Coach Greg Branch, and he's here to tell us about his new book. How are you doing today, Coach?
Hey, man, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. So what inspired you to write this book?
You know, as a coach and a teacher, we always joke about, hey, I should write a book sometime because we have so many stories. We deal with children every day, right? So we have so many stories and so many things that we want to write a book about. So that's where it started. I just started jotting down ideas one day and decided, you know what, I am going to write a book. And it wasn't me putting pen to pad. I was actually on the treadmill with my phone recording voice memos constantly, daily, of just things that I might want to put in a book. And that's where it all started.
Yes, sir. And how long did it take you to write this book?
It probably took a course of about 3 years. It started during COVID when I had a lot of free time, as a lot of our teachers did. And I started writing then and then just put it down. I just couldn't figure out what I was doing. I had a lot of great stories, but they didn't make any sense together. And so I was put in the hospital a few years ago, and then it kind of all went wrong. And when it did, I came out paralyzed in the hospital for about a month. And when I was done with that and rehabbing and all that, then I had material that I really wanted to get in the book. And so I finished it about in the course of 3 years or so.
Yes, sir. And so what are some of the major setbacks that you had to kind of inspire you to finish this book?
Yeah, so I'm no different than anyone else. I've had a lot of setbacks in my life. It's just I'm talking about them in this book. It started with depression, divorce, just being a bad human being. And you know, putting on a good front, but deep down inside, I was not a good person. And then later on down in life, like I said, about 2 years ago or so, I went into the hospital and things just went wrong. And I wouldn't say that I was at death's door, but I was pretty close. And so in the end, all the setbacks that I've had, all the great moments that I've had, in the end, my heart was just not good. And so it was just that moment when I finally just surrendered, gave my life to Jesus and said, please help me, I can't do this anymore.
That's amazing right there. So what do you hope people kind of get from reading your book?
You know, this book started off being about coaching stories and funny things at school, but then it didn't end up being in the book. The book is about hope, and it's about redemption, and it's about people out there that really need to hear stories of the common person that has problems. We're all mess-ups. We're all people that have issues and sin and all the things. This book is about how to overcome all that. All the setbacks that you may have in life, all the bad things that are going on or may go on in your life, and how to overcome them. And just give people a little bit of hope in there that something good can really happen out of something bad.
Yes, sir. And besides coaching and teaching and writing, what's next after this?
Well, I was hoping you guys would just let me hang around and do the weather tonight. I mean, that'd be cool. I've always kind of wanted to point at the screen, but no. You know, my passion is I love to coach, and I love to fire up kids and all that sort of stuff and motivate teams, but I really have a passion for speaking. And so I'm hoping to do more speaking engagements, whether that be teams, groups, churches, schools, whatever, and just get a lot of my stories out there and a lot of messages out there that people need to hear.
Yes, sir. We were just looking at some of the video right there. You coaching White House baseball. What's it like being out there coaching these young men?
You know, honestly, being around those kids is what keeps me going a lot of times. I'm not going to lie to you. Those kids really fire me up, and I think I do the same in return. You know, our teams really resemble our coaching staff. We're fiery. We're, you know, real into it at all times, and I think our team plays like that. But this group, the last year, 2, 3 years, and the one we have now is very, very special to me, not only on the field, but off the field, to me and my wife and our kids. So it's amazing. I love doing it. It's hard for me to put that clipboard down. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard to do, but I really, really enjoy being around these kids. And I think it's just the fruits of the labor. You see the progress, you see how the struggles, and then at the end when the light bulb goes off and the success happens, that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. And what do you hope your students or your players kind of take away from your journey in your book?
You know, more than anything, I think the guys or anyone that reads this book can just see that no matter what you've done or what you're going through or how bad of a person you've been, there's another side. There's another way to get out of it. And for me, and I hope that I can transpire this over to my kiddos, Jesus was the only way. That's the only hope that I had. I couldn't do it alone. He's the one that changed my heart. And so I'm not here to preach or anything like that, but I'm just to tell you that there is hope, and that's what I want my kids to understand. There's way more than baseball in life, and most of our kids won't go on to play college baseball. They're going to go on to be dads and all that sort of stuff, and so I'm trying to turn them into great men. So if they read this book, I'm hoping they'll get some of that, and anyone else who reads this book, I hope that they understand that there is hope no matter what situation that you're in.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely, anytime. Thank you.
Yes, sir. For more information, go to the website right there on your screen.